Hello everyone and welcome back to the second episode of the NCS 2024 Highlights podcast. At the end of July this year I made the first part and today I will continue this two-part video. A few days after Overdose was uploaded we got a great, long-awaited return from a great artist. It's none other than Retrovision, the Puzzle 2024 edit. He was back after 6 years. On September the 1st, 2018, his last release was released called Hope, and we had to hope for a return. And after so many years of waiting, we got another puzzle version that we didn't really ask for, but it was a really cool release. I myself was also really stoked when I heard his name, that he was coming back to the label. Although it's pretty modern, it isn't really a great outstanding song compared to other songs I talked about on the last episode. But still, it's a pretty great song and I of course have to mention it here. Because well, a great artist came back. And there is a VIP version of another song that also got already a VIP version. But 2 releases after that one, a beginning of a new album was there. The celebration for NCS 13. The first release was of course, unlike Pluto, Time is Eating. And I have to say, to start the album on that release was a great idea. I liked the rock, I liked just the overall feel of it. 3 drops, that's crazy. That's of course a little bit rare for NCS. And Red Circle. They begun the LP with a red circle. Great. Not too much is to say about this song. Of course it got a remix competition and one remix won. But that one isn't really mentionable in this video. And a few days later we got another follow-up song. Spectrum Sign Always Marin remix. A fucking great hardstyle remix on the original Shine. At first when Shine was like in an Insta post, I was like, is Spectrum coming back? But he is like in a political way, he is like a politician now if I am correct. And after we learned that it was going to be a remix, a hardstyle remix to be sure, well, I did not expect it to be that good. The overall still Shine vibe is there, the vocals are still of course nostalgic. The hardstyle kicks that make it of course a great hardstyle track succeeded there, so what's there not to love? But after that one, another great song came out. Not only that of course, but Tobu came back. After his tribute of 2022, Back to You. We all thought that he was going to be gone because his releases were deleted from 2014 up until 2015. Some are still up, like Tobu Roots and everything after that release, but still, it was really a doubt that Tobu would come back. But when he did, when we knew he was coming back, well, Faster was the release to come back with. A great vocal performance from an unknown artist, maybe a sample, I don't know. But the vocals that are there, great. The na-na-nas, super nice. The overall commercial house vibe we got after Nostalgia, even better. Man, that was a great release to have, especially for of course NCS 13, to not forget that. Great release. Let's talk about another song that came right after this one. Natrum Always Be with 2 uncredited artists. Man, a new Outrun song from Natrum himself. Of course without Halverson, but we come back to that later. Always Be is just different than all the other 3 we got from the duo Halverson and Natrum. I don't know what it is, but the happy overall vibe is so marvelous that I cannot really compare to the other 3 that are now here. It's just The vocals from a female voice fits the vibe of Outrun better in my opinion. Then we have just the overall more happy, upbeat vibe of the melody. And the guitar sample there, or well, not a sample, it was actually made by someone for this song. Man, that was a great part in this song as well. It blew me away, not maybe in the review, but just after listening it over and over again, it was clear that I really enjoyed that one. And oh boy, I was so excited for another song. I was shaking. J. Escargot, Snails. Earthquake featured Justin J. Moore. A pretty big collab, but of course Escargot and Snails. But oh boy, that bass house song is something I have not heard before. It's trippy, it's shaking, it's hard hitting, it has some great basses. That first drop, clean, with that second drop, with an off drop and the build up together. It is just fucking awesome. I was so stoked when I heard the preview. And damn, when it came out with a great background. That's just a nice combo. Something I didn't really expect from JS Car. Although it was a little bit short, it's still a really cool release and I have to mention this one. Of course, how to forget that banger. But let's talk about the last NCS 13 song that I want to talk about. And you can already maybe guess which song I want to talk about. Unknown Brain Wonder featured Rarin and Brie Tolani. Do you hear my reaction right now? I'm still so happy that they're back. I'm so baffled they are back. Unknown Brain, together with Brie of course. And damn, when we were all speculating for Unknown Brain to return, and then to find out that they were actually going to return after their sort of hiatus in 2021 up until 2023. After the Great Faceless LP, man, I was stoked. Wonder is just a wonder. Full release. Maybe a little bit short, maybe it misses something, like maybe people want to hear from Unknown Brain, but it has the chill trappy vibe I want. It has some great vocals, maybe a little bit too high pitched, but I like it, it's cute, with some great rap from Marin, and then a duet and harmony, you know I like those. I mentioned it back then. People were sick of me that I was mentioning it over and over again, but NCS got their brain back. Just a great way to say that. Wonderful release. That was the last release I wanted to talk about from NCS 13. Let's talk about... Yeah, the one I said oh my ass on. Next one. Quickly mention Rudy J and Noise Party Pioneers featured Helene. Just a really nice, overall polished hard trance techno song. I don't really know what the difference is, and some say it's hard trance, some say it's techno. I don't know anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore in life. But man, just a happy vibe of it. The overall happy vibe. The vocals, cute. There's nothing to dislike here. A quick mention of it, but I have to mention this one. But guys, shh, guys, listen. Shh, do you hear that? It's Extra Terra and Entry B. Silence. You had to be silent there, so you could hear the drop. I know, it's a bad joke, but oh boy. When I knew a mid-tempo song was coming up pretty soon, I was stoked. And for sure, I'm looking for words here. I was so happy after it came out. Like, it's a vibe that I got from Throne, and Throne was beaten by this. Like, Throne is still great, but Silence did it a little bit better. It's still really phenomenal. The two drops made it pretty damn great, and the melody is just right in your face. Throne did a little bit different, like it laid back, and at this third drop it came out fully, but Silence was not so silent as Throne was. It was really cool. to have a mid-tempo song again with the same vibe as Throne. And I'm so sad the next song didn't have the part "He is back." But oh boy, he was back. Sort of. Nefax, but also Tokyo Machine. They could have used that part from the original Desperate so greatly, the "I am back" vocal. That was so great in the original, but it didn't came back into the remix or part 2, like, yeah, it's a remix. Damn, that release, it was a wild one. To have Tokyo Machine back after Slash, oh boy, this year was going to be really great. I was already convinced that this year was great, but damn, it was getting better and better. The 2 different drops really made this song unique, and it made it a little bit more enjoyable than it maybe was without 2 different genres. First the rhythm, I don't really know, drop, the first drop, really cool, really clashy. But then the Complextro drop at the end, I like that Complextro was back after so many years of absence, or sort of years. I don't really know when it was last released, but still it felt like a way longer time than it maybe actually is. Tokyo Machine did it really cool to integrate his style together with the Nefax already made melody, and also with his vocals, of course, from Nefax the rap. Really fitted the vibe. But man, I still wanted that "I am back" part. But don't be sad, our boys came back. Now we're happier. Because Sad Boys and Gabrielle Ali, Happier Now, came out. The Red Circle was back after a great absence. Sad Boys were back after Romeo and Juliet. And of course I mentioned that song in the last episode as well. This song Happier Now, I had to mention it too. Because of the great second drop. The overall happy vibe I get is, yeah, really well accomplished. Although I see people saying, well, it makes me a little bit more sad than happy. I see why. It has some great vocals that can make you feel sad, but also happy. I like that, when songs can feel happy, but also sad at the same time. You don't really know what to feel, so you feel neutral. No, that's not how I felt, but it's just nice to have. You can lean in a more sadder vibe if you are sad. I don't know if you want that, but still. But you can also feel really happy. But the overall sound design, mind-blowing. The guitar parts, beautiful, especially that faster second drop when that came. Whoa, that was mind-blowing. A really cool song, and I had to mention this. And I said the last song had awesome sound design. Well, our boy came back. Roy Knox, the king of melodic dubstep. Jesus Christ, he blew me away again. Of course it fell for a demon, but I think my Your Poison reaction was almost as great as the Fell for a Demon one. I screamed, I laughed, I did many ooh in the video. I was so happy that Your Poison was also going to be on NCS. When I heard it was maybe coming, I was like, yes, give it to us, give it to us, give it to us. I love Roy. And it was there. Although I wanted the first drop to be a little bit longer, it was long enough to enjoy it really well. But the great second drop with beautiful sound design and just the harshness of the great bro step part, I love it, and I still love to this day that it has 3 drops instead of 2, what Memory Box did. Man, Roy cannot make a bad song anymore. He never did. Maybe I wish, but it's still a 7.3. But now the next one. I was sort of doubtful to including this one, Revolution by Poilo, Linsadin and Midranger. But Midranger and Poilo are of course the same person. But I really wanted to mention this one, because of course the Calling for You sample was also used here. No, not because of that, of course. Just the overall future house vibe that we didn't really heard before, sort of. Maybe back in the day we got this vibe as well, but it felt really unique. And yeah, I really wanted to mention this one. Short but sweet. It's alright to keep it short. Do you know what's also alright? This. It's not alright. The Avi Snow, Sync and Marquee style Alright Ivan Beck remix is not just alright. That deep house vibe is so fucking awesome. It made the original look weak. Although I can sort of see why this feels weak, I, of course, like more cinematic stuff over little fun stuff. Like the overall majestic vibe of the second drop here especially is super awesome. I like when songs go grand on that level. They don't have to be as powerful as, for example, Your Poison or The Right Time maybe. They can also be a little bit more cinematic and dreamy and chill to also enjoy this. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Great one. Aris from the Top is also a song I really want to mention, just because it stands out all above the other funk songs we got so far. It's just happy, it feels like house. I think it's also called funk house, this genre in the song. It's just better than most songs in the funk genre, and yes, it's not the best. I do like Psychopathic more, but because this one is so happy, it had 3 drops and it's different, I had to mention this one as well. But guys, be prepared, because the next song has a fucking ass big bass. I said ass, but of course it's a super well made bass. It's hard, it's maybe ear-rapey, but not on a level that you can dislike it. At least for me. Everett Maxwell came back with Hinterlands and just fit the vibe what he already gave us back in 2020 and 2022. It reminded me of Born Out of Here. Also a big fat bass. I like big fat basses if they are done well, of course. It's really hard hitting. What I said maybe a little bit too much for some people, but you have to dare try this and make it work still. That's like a great accomplishment. So I will compliment Everett Maxwell to doing this right. And then the Halloween song was there. Extra Terra and Max Braun, Cyberblade. 2 really good mid-tempo artists came together to make a Halloween song in the mid-tempo genre that I really love. What I used to call new beat, but I'm over that now. Woo! Damn, that song is not like on AI level, but it's definitely still one of the greater collabs we got maybe this year. Because it's really rare nowadays that 2 artists that are fairly new, or one of them is fairly new on the label, come together to collaborate. And Extra Terra and Max Braun did, and that's a really cool thing to have. We got many one-offs last year. We don't really get OG collabs anymore. So this one was a really refreshment that I wanted to have, especially for Halloween. Mango and Bente Perfection featured Derek Kate. Don't really have much to say on this one. It's just the start of the maybe one of the greatest months ever on the label. Tropical House was back. Mango was back after Happy. But Perfection is just better. The overall tropical vibe is much more better and much greater incorporated here than in Happy. I like the vocal chops here. It's simple but well done. I had to mention this one. But I got obsessed by another song. Obsession, of course, by More Plastic. We cannot forget this banger. It's More Plastic, it's Neurofunk. What can go wrong? Every other release from them that was Neurofunk is so well made. It almost got me the Feel Alive vibes, but that one is still better. I like the overall sort of more spoken or screaming vocals rather than it's really sung by someone. I know they still sing in the song, but it just feels a little bit different, and I like that. And I think because of all these releases now that NCS is really back on track. How to forget DJ Vi back on Dash. I know some people don't like it at all, but I do. I know it sounds maybe a little bit cheesy or whatever you want to call it. I like the overall vibe. It's also a long time no see that an NCS song has a prequel that's not on NCS. Like, clearly Venomie Remix was I think the last one. No. Lonely Island by Disco's Over is the last song that got, like, the sequel was on NCS, but the prequel wasn't. And here, back on track, that's the prequel with all those other 2 or 3 now, are not on the label, but the sequel is. That's a nice touch. I like it. How it was back, and it was not gone yet. I like it about that month. But do not forget, that was the song that began the NCS Geometry Dash collaborated LP. And man, that one is still great to this day. And I think I have to talk about all of them. So this will be a longer episode because the later half of 2024, I can already say that to you, is better than the first half. There are just so much more bangers and highlights that I want to talk about. So I don't really have that much time, so it feels a bit crowded. So let's go on to the next one. Josh Rubin, Crowded Room. Highland was again uncredited, just like in Take It Slow, but Nika Danis as well, a great mid-tempo artist as well. Like, 2 uncredited artists that are both well known in the EDM community is wild, but Josh Rubin, oh boy, your vocals sounded so nostalgic again. I don't know what it is, but you make me feel great. Crowded Room, when it was teased, when you heard just a millisecond of that first drop, I was like, whoa, did you hear that? That was awesome, that was grand. And when I first heard the first drop fully, you maybe remember my reaction. It was top notch. It's, I think, in the top 5 of this year. It's hard to top this, but still a good amount of songs top this one. But man, a future bass song this loud and clear and polished. Well done, mates. Well done. Remember when I talked about OG artists not really collaborating anymore? Well, it did happen. Geometry by Tobu and Diviners. Tobu was back once more. Diviners was back. Yay! How to not like this? I know you do hear more Tobu than Diviners. I sort of have the feeling that Diviners did the underlaying melody and Tobu did the upperlaying melody. That Tobu is more dominant, but you can still hear the basses, not the basses, but the basses of the melody in the song by Diviners. That's my feeling I get. And it's the second commercial house song, again, in a month. And again, it belonged to the GD NCS collaboration. Mind blowing, am I right? Wow, let's go on to the next one because I still have to do many. Yes, Boom Kitty Waterflame Citadel, the third song of that great LP. It was a song that was not really expected, but when it came out, my reaction was wild. It was just a bass house song, again, a great bass house song, and together with a complextro part as well. But that second drop especially, with those 2 sort of fake outs, well done, mates, well done. And to have this also in a GD NCS collab, mwah. This LP is super great. It's astonishing great, if I can name it that way. Great. Oh look, another great collab. JJD and Alex Crindo Retrospective. Woo! 2 great artists came back after a while. We both saw these artists last year. And they're back with a genre, with glitch hop, that was also really not present anymore on the label, other than Shoulders of Giants, that was a little bit earlier this year. I immediately got the Adventure vibes by JJD, I got Future vibes, I got the glitch hop vibes by JJD. And still, although it sounds like JJD did most of the composition, I still feel Alex Crindo did a lot in this song, and it just feels completely new. It feels really modern as well, and to have this again also in the GD collaboration, it's mind-blowing. It's actually mind-blowing. It's so well made. The catchy, satisfying sounds are just nice to hear. I like this. Next one. Mad Virgin, Second Wind. I will not say that much about this song, but oh boy, it is nostalgic. It really is. When the first drop rolled around, I was like, okay, pretty nice house song. But when the second drop rolled around, I realized this song is not just a house song. It's a really great one that NCS signed because of TikTok. TikTok, I like TikTok. No, I don't. But Second Wind accomplished something other than just hype commercial house. It was more laid down, it was more chill, and I also like that still. It had a more Alan Walker, Def Quap, Ludwig and Skyhall vibe, so it felt like Awakening, Fade and New Beginning, but just we finally got a new one that felt nostalgic, chill and dreamy. We need those. We need those. The bass sound design in Like That by Don Darko and Cherry Morello, that's finally credited now in the title, is just great. It's great. Short but sweet, this mentioning, but I had to mention it. Fucking nice. Oh my god! Oh my god. Two great funk artists that I don't know how to pronounce. Ruins. Let that sink in. That last drop. Well, let's go back to the first drop. Nice. Feels cool, feels catchy, feels harsh, but also playful. But then that second drop with the oh my god scream, with a great scream of the melody itself, with basses that I don't really hear that often on NCS. It was wild. But sadly that first drop is not on the same level, so it's not that great. But still, to have such a great bass, to make it work in that way, to have an oh my god scream that's just funny, I like that. This really fitted the GD collab. Another really quick mention. Indeed, Sincol I Can Feel. Sincol is back after Reflect 2023. Also, yeah, he was uncredited in Bye Bye and Pretty Afternoon, but nonetheless, to have him in the title again on his own and to not see him make house, it was different. I expected house. Was I sad that it wasn't house? Well, after the fact, sort of yes, because we got that month too much drum and bass. But nonetheless, it still got sort of a future house vibe. Like, his same sound design was there that you can hear in his other songs. So I like that. That's a cool thing to have. So nice work, Sincol. Give me another great bass, please. Tokyo Machine once again, cheat codes. Dubstep, great, hard, basses. It's Tokyo Machine, what's there not to like? He was back again, and I hope he is back once more pretty soon, because I like his releases. Especially that second drop with those awesome basses. You know I love great, well done made basses. I have spoken about those pretty much all the time in this video. So of course I like that release. And also it's in a GD collab. What's there else to not like? Damn man, this year is actually insane. But we are almost at the end. Rex Hooligan after the end. Quick mention as well. Well done. With some melodic drum step again after a while. That's also nice to have. But the overall sound design, it's unique. It's more unique than others, I have to say that. So it was refreshing. That drum and bass part, okay. It's again drum and bass, but it's actually well made. Great, well done. The vocals are especially a nice factor about this song, a nice element. They felt like Diamond Eyes or Shia Mazel, what someone said in the comments of after the end. I saw that one, and I agree. It's in the dreamy vibe, especially, by the way, a nice background points to that as well. I like it. And now we have a trilogy with Instrument Helverson, Backstreet Boy. Not their greatest work, but still, they're back. It's GD, it's Outrun, it's a square visualizer. What more do you want? It's not really a great song, but I have to mention this because people love this. The community is really in love with this style, and Sirius loves this, apparently, because it's the third time they make a song like this together, like Helverson and Natron. So yes, Always Be was better, what I mentioned before, but still, great work, and I like the 90s vibe. I like the Easter eggs in the song with the lyrics. I saw some Easter eggs. I cannot name them out of my head right now, but if you know, you know. Great Easter eggs, guys. Great. Well done. And then the Christmas time rolled around. Everett Maxwell, Noel, Electra. A pretty damn hard song. I'm not gonna lie about that. That song is actually insane. It's wild. The first drop is like, okay, what are we going to do? That's a nice introduction. But that second drop with the build-up basses, it's actually wild. It's wild, man. It sounded so harsh. You know I like that sort of basses. I was totally invested. And then we have a third drop, kind of the same as the first, but still in a very nice vibe. I like it. That everyone was back again, yeah, that's a treat. That's a Christmas gift. And now let's talk about the last song of this podcast. Rink and NCT Freefall. NCT was back for the last release of the year. It was crazy to finally have them back after a long time. The last time was Find a Way back in 2022. And they made a pretty hard song this time around, other than their pretty nice dance floor style. It was still dance floor, drum and bass, but I like the harder bass in the background. It reminded me of Set Me Free by Tia Suga. Both NCT and Tia Suga came back this year, and came back with a harder banger than their usual style. Pretty great, I'm not gonna lie about that. But Rink and NCT, well, sort of ended the year on a pretty hard note. Could have been better, of course. This is the first year that I don't give a 10 at the end of the year. That's sad, but man, it still was a great song to end 2024 at last with Freefall. But this was it for today, and I hope I will see you all next time. Bababyeee!